Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The League on AFTERBUZZ TV. Season 6, Episode 10, Episexy. I'm your host, Jenifer Golden, and with me is my lovely co-host, George Hermoza.
Jorge Hermoza.
Jorge Hermoza.
Hermoza. Jenifer Golden.
Yes.
In Miami.
Exactly.
Florida.
So, George, what'd you think? Hi.
I missed you.
Did you?
It's been the longest 2 weeks of my life.
Oh, sad. I missed you.
Oh,
what's going to happen when the season's over? Are we going to break up?
No, I heard we're going to try to convince Phil to do a little something, if you know. I don't want to say anything. I'm
yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Just watch. You'll see.
You'll see, peeps. So, Episexy, what'd you think of this episode?
I liked it. I mean, we'll get into it later, but as far as Ruxin, but he wasn't there, but it's okay. You know what I was thinking to myself? I was thinking to myself, whatever it is, because obviously he's got another commitment.
Right.
That better be good.
Better be.
If he's going to sit there and miss shooting episodes of The League, it better be hilarious. I don't know whatever it is that he's doing, but it better be good.
You know what? I feel like he would have been a great contribution to this episode because of the glasses and Teflon stuff going on. Let's just jump right in.
Sexy. So the beginning of the episode has Pete bottom,
right?
But girl on top.
Girl on top,
and looks like Jenny.
It totally resembled Jenny. It was very confusing. I thought it might be a dream or something, or that maybe husband and wife got to actually do a scene together, and it was like maybe something. I don't know. But it's the reason the episode is called Episexy is because of this storyline. So why don't you tell everybody about it?
So the scene starts with, again, she's kind of going to town on Pete's
new lady,
without getting a little too graphic.
Yeah.
And she suffers some epilepsy, which causes seizures, or however that works. But yeah, she's essentially having a seizure on top of Pete.
Right.
And Pete enjoyed it.
He did. It was Episexy.
And it was just funny because it was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I had a seizure. I'm like, oh, that was? Oh. She's like, oh, I swear it's not going to happen again. He's like, wait, really? Are you sure? I mean, it's okay if you do.
Right. And he goes to lengths to make it happen again.
Pretty much, yeah.
By setting the mood with this crazy music that would make her go.
Or he puts on something on. Oh no,
white noise on TV.
Yeah, pretty much. And he's trying to set the mood. He's like, oh, you don't need to set the mood. And it was funny because she was like, oh, I never really have seizures 2 days in a row because I had one last night. And he just total. Pete's not even into it. It's like he lost his mojo.
He was disappointed because he was obviously waiting for that seizure to happen. Coincidentally, though, they do actually have sex, and it was fine. It just wasn't seizure sex.
Yeah, he was good, but
it wasn't episex.
Yeah, definitely a step lower than what Pete was expecting.
Right. I mean, and then, of course, it ends up being that Pete ends up having a seizure.
Well, I just think he was just high on speed. Because remember, I guess Rafi, we'll go into that a little bit later, but Rafi had speed so he can get everything in bullet time, like in the Matrix. So while he's doing everything fast, everything also seems slow to him, but he bumps into Pete. Oh, no, they wrestle.
At the bar.
Yeah, and then he gets his pills confused. Pete accidentally takes speed and then just goes to town on his girlfriend.
Yeah, you know what though? It looked like a seizure. Maybe he had too much, and that's what happens when you OD on speed.
And apparently she enjoyed it.
She did.
So maybe that's the secret.
Maybe.
No candlelights, no setting the mood. Maybe
no Viagra even.
Having seizures.
Seizure sex. Well, that's a thing, I guess.
Something to look into.
Another interesting thing that happened in this episode was Jenny, we find out, has been lying to her daughter. There's been a lot of trust issues in this episode. So Jenny's been lying to her daughter about this chow mein she's been making, I say loosely in quotes, since Ellie was a baby. And so Ellie always loved it, and Jenny didn't want to disappoint her. And so she keeps telling her she makes that chow mein. So that Chinese restaurant obviously has to stay in business because Jenny has to keep ordering it and feeding Ellie this magical chow mein.
But unfortunately, it's that week in school where it's parents cook for the kids' day. or whatever. I never had that in elementary school.
I think that I did, and I don't remember what it was. Maybe it wasn't that they had to like cook for everybody. In this case, it was like share your favorite family recipes. So Ellie was like, my mom makes chow mein, the best in the world famous. So Jenny has to then make it for the whole class and has clearly never made chow mein in her life. And, you know.
But one of Ellie's friends who, I guess, spilled some chow mein on her sweater.
Yeah.
And then Jenny ended up washing it, you know, drying it, but Taco hid some Mary Jane in the dryer and caused her thing to smell like weed. So already the friend's daughter, or the friend's mother was already expecting, like, why is she smell like weed now?
Right. And so she had to explain the whole, like...
Of course, Jenny's like, no, not even, you know, what, your kid's already starting young? I mean, I thought that was kind of funny.
I did too. And of course it was Taco related because he had his guest stash.
Anything related to weed is going to be related to Taco.
Right. So he had his guest stash stored in the dryer, and he thought Jenny doesn't use the dryer because her kids are always dirty and dressed in dirty clothes.
Typical Taco.
Typical. There's always an insult along with his like absent-mindedness. So yeah. So then Jenny makes she tries to make the chow mein, and she actually asks Taco for help, and Taco brings her this chef that's like extraordinary, and his name is Lee Y. Lee.
Lee Y. Lee or something like that. But I'm kind of curious because Bobby Lee, who played that character, I don't know if you remember, but he was in an episode in season 1 of The League. It was...
What was he?
Okay, so Taco... Okay, so no, they go to like Koreatown or whatever. I know there's Chinatown and Koreatown here, but they go whatever the Chicago thing is, because Ruxin wanted to buy his wife something special, and then Taco was like, oh, cool. Now I can go get the 3 penis wine because Taco needed to get horny or whatever. So then they were at a restaurant ordering stuff, and Bobby Lee was one of like the restaurant or the, I don't know, what am I trying to say? He's eating there.
Great.
Yeah.
A patron.
A patron, yeah, sure. A customer.
A diner, if you will.
Exactly, yeah. And then so Ruxin goes to wash his hands, but he washes his hands in the urinal. The Bobby Lee character walks in and makes fun of Ruxin for washing his hand. Everybody makes fun of him. But he did kind of seem like a little mentally challenged, as they reference in this episode. I'm just kind of curious if that's the same character, or is it a whole new character?
Interesting. We'll have to look into it on IMDb because it will say what he played.
Yeah.
So we'll do that research for you guys, unless you want to text and tweet and do the whole thing and tell us.
If it just says patron, I mean, it can still be the same guy, but I don't think he had a name that one episode in season 1.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, they brought him back, and he was supposed to be the expert. However, he was less expert and more frittata, as Jenny called him. And he was putting, like, the dough. And this was also at Menage a Sink, Andre and Russell's new place. And so they were playing with dough and, like, putting it on their neck and on their face. And he was, like, cutting eyes out and making... What is it? Noodle head?
Something like that. Who's the guy with the dough face, noodle head, or whatever? I was like, huh. Good stuff, Taco.
Right. And then, of course, Rafi knows exactly who he is. He enters with what was so ridiculous was like a toilet for the restaurant because chefs need to go poo during cooking and can't clearly stop in his mind.
But it's funny because he just mentioned, like, not even here, let me go to the bathroom. In his mind, it's let me finish what I'm cooking, so let me take everything to the bathroom so I can finish there.
Because that's the logical, easier way of doing things.
Yeah, exactly.
That Rafi.
But apparently Rafi's, and that's another girl that was on a previous episode.
Yeah.
The swimming instructor, because Ruxin didn't want to go to Baby Jeffrey's swimming class, so he tells Rafi to go instead and imposes at his father, meets a swimming instructor. She's crazy.
Right.
Like, I think she literally referred to herself as a human dumpster because she'll just take anything in.
Right. And then, of course, she is now dating Lee Y. Lee.
Yeah.
And I don't know how she is, but would she say that he's like sensitive or he's super empathetic?
No, just when you look at his eyes, yeah. He did have some nice eyes.
His eyes were probably trying to figure out what the hell was going on.
I almost got lost in them.
Did you?
I almost, but then I got a text.
Right. Well,
and then I had to check my phone.
You know, why be present? Why be present? So Lee Wiley doesn't work out. Jenny then takes it upon herself to go learn how to make chow mein. It's not the same, obviously, as it usually is. And we find out why.
Because Taco used one of the recipes boxes for his weed stash.
Yeah, he put, instead of the Chinese seasoning in one of the bottles, he replaced it with his weed. So Jenny, of course, makes the recipe and cooks the weed into it, and now brings it to school, and all the kids get high. That was one of the funniest scenes.
That was hilarious.
Little kids high. I'm sorry, I know it's like so not okay, but pretty funny to watch.
I'm kind of curious, like, you know, whoever the director was, what his direction was. Like, obviously they're not going to say, all right, kids, act like you're high. They're going to be like, what?
No, they probably assigned each kid a line and was like, say.
But as far as like the movements go, you know, the guys.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm sure they showed each one what to do. But, I mean, and kid actors are pretty smart. They're usually like a little bit above.
I mean, yeah. I thought that scene was hilarious.
Hilarious.
The teacher I thought was really funny too. Just the whole like.
Oh, she got high first. She's like, "This is the best chow mein ever." And
just, I mean, it was I think one of my favorite lines. She's like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna get fired. I'm gonna get fired. Oh, I never liked you." You know, just
I like your version of her voice. It's amazing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she knew she was done for, and so she started being very honest, because I guess that's what you do when you're high. And then the other kids were giggling. One kid passed out in his bowl. One wouldn't stop eating. One felt like he was flying. It was just really funny things coming out of these kids. Needless to say, Jenny's probably not going to be asked to cook for anyone again. No. I wonder, like, and we're not going to see what happens with that. There's not going to be any penalties for it.
It's funny because it's always something. Like, she had that, I think maybe it was last year.
Breast awareness?
No. Oh, that too. But like a season or two ago, Ellie's teacher, I forgot her name in real life, but it was the one that Pete had a thing with, and she had to do, like, Kegel exercises. I don't know if you remember that episode. But she was kind of like always, she was a teacher, and then she would always be that person that's like, "Oh, Jenny, your kid has a," I think what was this, a science project where Ellie had to do like a waste, like just a bit,
I remember
bucket
that
of trash,
one.
remember?
Yeah.
And then of course Ellie's boyfriend at the time had the little microscope, and it had like little semen in it, and I was kind of like, oh, poor Ellie, like she always has to go through all these things at her school, you know?
Yeah.
Now there's something new. Now she's going to be known as the pothead's kid, you know?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Poor Ellie, she's gonna hate junior high.
Oh, Ellie.
Or she might be the most popular girl. Who knows?
Wait, wasn't she also super religious like 2 episodes ago?
Oh yeah.
That was really funny.
Fornicators.
Oh boy. And we have Andre this episode pulling stunts again. He honestly is doing anything he can possible to win the season. So he decides he's gonna need glasses, because if he has glasses, he can like spy on everything and pretend that he can't see while he's doing it. I mean, he literally plays blind.
Typical Andre.
Typical Andre.
I thought he was hilarious in this episode.
Yeah, you were pretty fond of him.
Hilarious. Just the whole interaction with him and Kevin.
Yeah,
just
there's a lot of that.
We're like, oh well, you know what? I think we should set each other's lineup. But you know, it's okay. Take off your glasses. What? You don't trust me? Hey, what it is? And you know, we're trust. We're gonna set each other's lineup. Here, take off your glasses. What do you need? Oh, okay. You know, just trying to do anything to prove, or to have Andre prove that he doesn't need the glasses.
Right. Know? And obviously no one's put on the glasses yet to like really see if there's a prescription in there. But they're messing with Andre. Andre thinks they have no idea what's going on, and that he's,
I love that.
You know,
when Taco was like, "Oh, how many fingers am I holding up?" Oh, I can't hear you, Jenny. And it was just like, obviously, it's not Jenny talking.
Right. Like, and you don't go blind overnight and then need glasses. Like, so it was pretty ridiculous, but pretty hysterical. Like, the fact that he saw Kevin's scout page and then pretended he didn't see anything, and that set everything in motion for Kevin. I think Kevin handled it really well. And he's like, it's fine. I'll set your lineup. And moved Eddie Lacy. And Andre was like, that seems like a really short name for where you put it.
I just like any visual of like him just taking off the glasses and
he would look like in the complete wrong direction.
I should not look at the camera. It's like
no, but he wouldn't even squint. He was like, what? Or be like me saying like, what, Lauren? Clearly it's you talking and I hear your voice. But yeah, that was pretty funny. And then of course at the end they discover that Andre could actually see, and they knew it, but he was revealed because he was frightened by the sight of Rafi without pants. And
he
clearly
was acting like it was like, oh, I got you guys. I got you guys. You know, you guys fell for my prank. It's like, we knew the whole time, Andre.
Right. And let's talk about Rafi for a sec.
Rafi.
Let's go there.
Rafi's back.
Every time he's in an episode, for whatever reason, it's all about poop, and it makes me uncomfortable. And like, I can handle a poop joke, but the fact that he eats his poop, or like he like does protective poops, or protective defense poops, or whatever it is, it just is so. It takes me out of the episode. I can buy into the weed getting in the recipe. I can buy into like Andre faking blindness. It's the Rafi stuff. I'm just like, you lost me there, League. You lost me.
We kind of mentioned it 2 weeks ago where I'm a big fan of humor. I don't find a single thing in this world offensive at all. So I don't get offended by anything. But I just don't feel the need of certain jokes, like of certain kind of jokes. Like, did it have to be poop jokes, or was so weird. Was there no alternative?
Right, like it's just so like I feel like Rafi didn't have to be involved in this episode whatsoever, but maybe because Ruxin wasn't, Rafi was.
It's a good thing. Maybe that's the mentality behind it.
Maybe
no Ruxin, so let's put in Rafi.
Right, like let's add some flair. But like the show is so smart. And everything always makes sense and comes full circle, and like all the like things tie together and weave a perfect web. But like the Rafi stories just never really gel.
And I feel it's funny because a lot of these episodes are a little bit longer. So normally they're 30 minutes, but now they're 38 minutes. Now you got to think, well, would it still have the same pizzazz without Rafi and maybe taking off 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes? I think so. Like,
I'm okay with it, guys.
I like Rafi, especially after that one episode where it showed kind of how he kind of came up with Dirty Randy.
Right.
But yeah, just
the poop stuff. It takes it too far. Like, I don't know. I like old Rafi better.
The random boners that he gets, that's kind of funny for the most part. But yeah, just the whole even kind of beginning with when he's like, all right, I'm teaching a self-defense on self-defense. I'm like, okay. This can be kind of funny.
That is funny because it's like reverse self-defense. Yeah. So he's teaching women self-defense against the men and what they do, but then he's teaching the men what the women are being taught so that they know how to defend themselves against the self-defense. Yeah. Which, if you think about it, is kind of genius. Terrible in terms of like self-defense because clearly that needs to happen for a reason. But the thought process behind it. But then why go do like self-defeces?
Yeah. Because that's step 3, apparently. I mean, he was in the bar. They were all together. They were talking like step 1, this, step 2, this, and then step 3, the self-defeces. And he actually does it. And it's like, doesn't that really necessary? I mean, it kind of tied into the end when it was Rafi and the Asian guy kind of battling each other. And then the punchline of the end of the episode was the whole, oh, wow, he used my own move against me.
Right. So the frittata basically pooped himself.
Yeah, on Rafi.
Right.
Not on him, but, But.
I mean, even that guy was kind of unnecessary. Like, that whole storyline of Li Wei Li was kind of unnecessary, if you think about it.
Yeah.
It only made sense because of Rafi.
Pretty much, yeah.
But, I mean,
even so, like, they added the whole, he's dating my ex-girlfriend. You take that out, it really wouldn't have been much of a, nothing would have been missed.
No, I would have rather seen whatever happened to, like, Jenny and if she was penalized at the school or, like, something like that. I would have liked to see that story wrap up.
Or I would have liked to have seen something in regards to Pete, like what happened after the speed or after the kick or after his seizure that he had.
Are they going to break up? Because they clearly didn't. So now are they going to be together next episode? I think maybe we should talk about some predictions.
AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
Well, look at you.
Ooh, it almost went.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
George.
I think, based on previous patterns, that Pete will no longer be with that girl. For whatever reason, I think he's going to have a new girl next episode.
Okay.
One that doesn't look like Jenny.
Yeah, I wonder if they noticed that she looked super like his actual wife. Mm-hmm. Because Katie Asselton is his wife. So
I know the first thing you said was like, "Oh wow, they get to do a cut." Oh no, it's not her.
Right. It was weird. It was like a bait and switch or something. Yeah. I agree with that. I wouldn't mind seeing Milady, the cat, and I actually keep calling Lauren Milady, and every time I do, I just do it because I'm like, my lady, not Milady, or the cat, but because I think it's funny, and clearly she's not Milady.
She made us put the cat up again.
Of course she did. Lauren Leonelli.
She's crazy.
She is a cray cat lady. It's okay.
I like crazy.
She's funny about it, so it's cute. And she only has one cat. She doesn't have like 7, so.
Well, not yet.
Not yet, exactly. I predict Lauren gets another cat.
When?
I don't know. Just kidding. I don't.
No. Let me just say this, by the way.
What?
I follow you at Two Drunk Girls on Instagram, and that one post you put up with the with the wine and say when, and then it's like a room full of wine. I thought that was hilarious.
Thank you. That was today's post, guys. You should check it out on Instagram. You can follow Lauren and I at Two Drunk Girls on Instagram, Twitter. Our website's twodrunkgirls.net. Me personally, you can follow at Jenifer Golden now on Twitter. I have retired Jen the Jew on Twitter, but I am still Jen the Jew on Instagram.
But let me say this.
Everything else is Jenifer Golden.
And I love, because I'm obsessed with you two. Like, I literally love you both.
You're the best.
And I feel so bad because you look so amazing today. And I just put on a few, you know, I have my St. New.
No, that's awesome.
You know.
You're sporty.
Just
We're watching the league. I'm also wearing sneakers. You wouldn't know because they're under the desk.
But with that said, I loved your salt and pepper costume from Halloween.
Thank you. Yay, we were real proud of it. Except when people didn't know who we were. We looked like two little red meatballs with African hats on.
Oh.
But anyway, what were you following?
I am at G Hermoza, GHERMOZA on Twitter and at Instagram. And I don't know, hit us up on Twitter. Yeah. Ask us some questions.
Wait, what were you for Halloween?
You didn't see me on. So you didn't see my Instagram?
I was doing Halloween. What were you? Well,
I mean, I had the orange suspenders and the bow tie, but it wasn't a costume. That's just what I wear on a Friday night.
Oh, well, obviously.
Well, look it up at G Hermoza, GHERMOZA. You can see my costume there. Again, I mean, you can call it a costume. I call it a Friday night.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you for another week of the league. We have, I think, 3 more episodes to go, and then the season's over. Sad, but we'll be here next week, and we can't wait to see you.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.